Our goals for this update are to make several helpful changes to the user interface, some for everyone and some just for admins. We wanted to bring Tentaroo user account security in line with industry standards, and that included protecting personal data, providing secure access to account holders if they forget their password, and also to allow admins to reset their own forgotten passwords. Today, we will explain what changes were made to the interface and end user accounts. We will walk through the process of resetting passwords, both as an end user and as an admin, and I will list the situations when password reset is required. I will highlight the resources available in both the admin manual and the user manual to support councils during this time of necessary change. I will lay out some best practices for working with user accounts with the new security measures, and we will have a question and answer session at the end. First, we'll go through the interface changes. New unit accounts unit gender field is now in the interface to be managed from users. New unit accounts will be able to select their accepted gender during account creation, depending on the type of unit being created. This field is required for any new troop and pack accounts and is not shown for other types of accounts, other types of units. All right, and now we're going to look at the admin interface for this. Admins can assign the gender when manually creating a new unit account or in the group profile. For admins, the unit gender field is optional. As previously announced, our Akela import process, which replaced the ScoutNet import, can also update all existing accounts to their accepted gender based on their Akela data. Instructions for this can be found at admin.tentaroo.com/Akela. That has all the steps you need to do to generate a file. And once you have your file, you can submit it using the form linked at the bottom of that page. We encourage unit imports to be done about twice a year. And right now, if you haven't done one recently, we definitely recommend you do that so that your unit gender is all updated. Back in the interface, we have added a few things. We added a Help Center button in the client menu, which links to the user guide, and then an admin manual button in the admin menu, which links to the admin manual. So everyone can get to the resources that they need very quickly. We've also made a few other small changes, such as we've sprinkled a few more admin A logos indicating admin functions, just as a visual assistance. Now we're going to talk about password changes. This is the main topic of today's webinar, and I'm very pleased to share with you that we have enhanced password security protocols for all accounts. All user passwords are now one-way hashed and encrypted. Once a password is set, it cannot be viewed or retrieved by anyone. This matches the password protocols already in place for admin account passwords, as well as industry standard best practices for password security. Some things haven't changed, such as unit account logins are still shared by the primary and alternate contacts with a single login and password. If a user forgets their password, they will still use the Forgot Password button on the login screen. And they will receive an email, but instead of receiving their passwords directly, they will, where was I? They will be given a link to reset their password. This link is active for 24 hours and only works once per user account in your Tentaroo system. From that link, they will be taken to a reset password form. They select the account they need to reset and enter a new password. That form will show any accounts that email address is associated with. They just choose the one they need. Passwords in Tentaroo are all now case sensitive, as I mentioned before, and require a minimum of 8 characters. Special characters are supported, but not required. These rules apply to new passwords for both end user and admin user accounts. Current passwords that do not meet these requirements will not need to be changed. They can continue to use an existing password as long as they know what that password is. I want to highlight that this form works for admin accounts as well now, meaning that admin users can reset their own forgotten password without having to go through a fellow admin, and they can change their password without having to use the Legacy Air app. There's the link, and then there's your admin account, and it has a red A to tell you which one's an admin account. All right, now we're going to go back to the user account as an admin and compare the old system to the new system. In the old system, you had 3 buttons. You had email login, show password, and edit password. These are all effectively gone along with their old functions. In the updated system, we now have a change password button where you can set the temporary password for the account. However, we strongly advise against using it unless all other methods of helping the user regain access to their own account have failed. And we'll have more on that in a moment. You also have a button to send reset link, where you can send a password reset link to the emails in the account profile. As sometimes happens, unit leadership can change and they do not pass on the account. So the new leadership doesn't have access and the email accounts on the account are no longer the correct leaders. In this instance, we advise changing the unit account contacts to the leadership on file in Kayla. Then you send those registered unit leaders the password reset link. Once they have verified their email and reset the account password, they can then share it with those adults who have access, who should have access. We recommend that units keep these login credentials to the 2 main contacts on the account. In most cases, of course, that's up to them who needs access. If an individual or family account holder no longer has access to the email address on file, we recommend that you verify other information available, such as phone number and address, then change the email address to their new one and send them the reset link. The main goal here is that the end user is the one who is updating their email addresses, updating their phone passwords. We'll try again. But if they are experiencing technical difficulties and are unable to change their password or get logged in, please let us know first, especially while this feature is new, so we can confirm that everything is working as intended. We have tested things, but sometimes something happens that we didn't get around to testing or we didn't think of while we were testing. If it appears to be just an issue on the user's end, that's when we may advise setting a temporary password, which the user will be required to change when they first log in. If there is something that's not working correctly, we want to know about it so we can fix it. For admin accounts, admin passwords are already one-way hashed. That remains the same, and now admin users can also use the forgot password form to change their passwords. Other admin account changes include that the permission to view group's current password will no longer have any effect. It will still be displayed until we move admin account management to the new app. Now, in order to update group email addresses, send reset links, or change a password directly, that admin will need the permission to manage groups. Without this, an admin cannot make any changes in the group account. I've mentioned a few times that there will be occasions where a password reset is required. We now require that users reset their passwords whenever their password is seen or set by someone else. So these situations are when an Akela import creates an account with a temporary password, when when the council creates a new account manually and sets a temporary password, when the council resets the user password to a temporary password, again, we want that one to be a last resort. And then not yet launched, but coming soon, we will require password reset when a new admin logs in for the first time or when another team member changes someone's admin password. In all of these cases, the password set by someone else is considered temporary, and the account holder should change that or will be required to change the password when they log in for the first time with that temporary password. And let's take a look here now at the support that we've provided in the admin and user manuals. Starting with the admin manual, we have a page called Account Security and Password Resets. And this page includes most of the information and then some that I've shared with you today. And then we also have content for you on the cybersecurity page of our admin manual. We have a page for setting up user accounts that talks about the various cybersecurity measures in place for that, managing passwords. And then we also have our user manual, our user guide. We've added a page here that talks about account access and password management with lots of good information about how to set a strong password, how to change a password if you forget it, and how to pass on a unit account. Please share this page with your users to help them with the new password security protocols. Well, today I shared with you what changes we have made in the interface, our new end user password security protocols, how to reset passwords as a user, when password reset is required, and what resources are available to you on both the admin manual and the user manual to help with this change. After our webinar today, we will post the update to the live system later on this evening. There may be a brief downtime, like I said, but no more than 15 minutes. We will email a recording of this information for everyone to access. And if you have staff that would like additional training or have questions on this, you may schedule a time with me at admin.tentaroo.com/training. Don't forget to fill out our roll call form. It also has a space for comments to give us your feedback or questions. If we do receive any questions through that form, we will reach back out to you and answer those questions.